And the very next matchup is for the AWE heavyweight title belt. And entering the cage is Guntars Baikovs. Guntars stands at 195 centimetres. He weighs in at 127 kilograms. He's now aged 50 years old. He claims to have a 17 3/4 inch bicep. I suggest that may be an underestimation. His forearm is a little under 16 inches. He's a top roll specialist. He's your former Latvian, former European, and former Australian champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Guntars Baikovs! And his opponent here today is Tambakis. He stands at 188 centimetres tall. He weighs 105 kilograms. He's aged almost half of his opponent at 26 years. His bicep size is 17.5 inches. His forearm size is 16.5 inches. He's an all-rounder, ladies and gentlemen. He is your Australian heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the cage, Mario Tambakis! And this is for the AWE heavyweight title.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm incredibly excited for this match. This is the mystery. I couldn't pick a winner in this one. Mario, I know, is doing incredible things in the world of arm wrestling at the moment. He is on a tear. But the mystery remains with Guntars Baikovs. I started the sport 4 years ago. Guntars had retired by then. But he's come back out of the shadows now that everyone has managed to rise up to his level. He was such a dominant champion. He actually retired because there was no competition. Now there is a competitor to the title here, getting set up. I was joined here by Dave Stockbridge, the ring announcer, doing a tremendous job today.
Well, thank you very much for your very warm welcome, Hollywood Matt Connolly. It's exciting to be here on the commentary table.
Absolutely. This match, I've been looking forward to this since we announced it. This one's had that question mark. Like, what will Guntars bring to the table?
Well, Mario's very much been the man to beat in Australian arm wrestling over the last several years, and that just happened to be the same time frame that Guntars has not been competing. It's about a 5-year hiatus, and I'm very excited to see how Guntars goes on the table.
I'm so excited right now. I hope all the viewers in the pay-per-view are as excited as we are here.
It's very interesting that it's the younger man that is the more known quantity. Of course, we know Guntars is a great athlete and has a proven history, but in this case, we know Mario's form. He's been travelling extensively, testing himself against the best in the world, and we've got a very strong idea that Mario Tambakis is very much amongst the strongest men in the Southern Hemisphere.
There we go. We're about to get a start here. Tim Graham, the referee, doing a tremendous job today, making sure that everything is fair. Just getting the grip negotiated. Guntars would be coming from a very strict background of arm wrestling that they do with the European style, so this might favour him in terms of the way it's set up. Not as strict in terms of the elbow fouls and everything that we've tried to do here with arm wrestling entertainment. We want to see interesting matches take place.
Indeed.
And we're about to see one.
You can
right
really feel the tension in the air now as these two men grip
I'm struggling to breathe. Like. I'm so excited
for the very first time on the competitive table, or maybe ever. I think this is the first time these two men have touched hands. And so you can just imagine what's going on in both of their minds right now.
Here we go, we're about to get the start.
The shock of feeling a hand that may be stronger than you expect. And there we go.
Graham resetting.
It's just the tension, isn't it?
That's right. Well, in referee's grip, you got to make sure that you don't move at all. You got to listen to the referee's instruction. He's giving both of the competitors a foul there. Neither of them listening to his instructions. So both competitors receiving a foul. There is only 2 fouls and it is a loss. So
it might be a double knockout.
Yeah, maybe. I hope we get a start and we don't get a foul. We have gone with running fouls, but the match has to actually start before that comes into play. The setup is so important, and matches are won or lost in the way that you grip your opponent's hand.
Tim's such a well-respected referee that both athletes are indeed listening, but just trying to seek that micro advantage. Here we go. Ooh.
And we get a slip. We're going to strap.
What do you read from that, Hollywood?
Well, you can see Mario trying to top roll there. Usually what happens when you get two top rollers is you do inevitably end up with a slip, and that is what we saw there. So we'll go to the strap. In the strap, when they apply the strap, it'll be very interesting to see who gets their hand in the position that they want. I think both these guys are pretty much doing the exact same thing. So it's going to be very interesting in this setup.
Interesting that you look at the level of their heads. Guntars is naturally the taller athlete, and yet he's really digging down, seeking to access that base load power.
He's such an athlete, isn't he? We can see from here, from our viewpoint, when Guntars' legs, they look like a professional bodybuilder's legs. He's squatted down to come down to Mario's height here, but with a wide stance, ready to unleash the power of his body there. 127 kilos.
They just certainly make them different in Latvia. Guntars is a Lutheran minister, and that's how he's found his way to Australia, and he's been living here for the last 7 or 8 years. He's been competing at he competed at the highest level when he first came to Australia, and
he was so dominant, wasn't he, that he actually said, well, maybe I'll step away for a little while and wait till everyone catches up.
And that's what makes this such an alluring matchup, because in Mario, Guntars has found a worthy opponent, somebody who's brought him back, made him hungry once again, and Guntars is keen to test himself as they set up.
I'm just going to get Mario's
ready
hand
going
closed. We'll get the close of the hand, and then Tim will step back and say go.
You can feel the nervous energy.
Both guys on a foul. This is important. Neither guy wants to foul here.
Oh, there we go.
He still got it, ladies and gentlemen.
You could see that as he fist pumped the air. That was very much a fist pump of relief. Yes, I've still got it.
Wow. Both guys trying to top roll, and Guntars coming out ahead, bringing it about an inch from the pad and then changing to the press. Didn't use his body even. He just went straight with side pressure pressing for that last inch.
Almost a rush to get that one over, I would suspect. And I guess at that point, Mario would have thought, now's the time just to let it go and recover and come back to the table with a fresh approach.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it looks like both these guys have the identical style. And based off of that, we'll have to see if Mario is going to adjust and try to change to something else, or whether he thinks maybe I just missed the start. If that's his ace, if that's his number one weapon, and it's a top roll, and your opponent's doing exactly the same thing but better, you have to make the adjustments.
Well, there was a question as to whether or not ring rust was going to play a factor in today's matchup, as Mario is very much the seasoned competitor and has been spending a lot of time on the tables of the world over the last 2 years, and during that time Guntars has been staying home and staying off the table, and from the look of that, it would seem that that's not a concern for Guntars.
No, that's right. Every time that he sort of dropped into the practice room at the SA Titans Club, because he was retired for about 5 years prior to this, and every now and then he would make a little cameo appearance unannounced. He would just walk into the room and then, he'd just destroy everyone. But he just felt unbelievable pronation from anywhere on the table at any time, no matter what grip you had. He could just pronate straight through to the pin pad.
It really is the difference between somebody who's a good club player and somebody who's genuinely world class.
Absolutely.
Guntars is certainly that. Both men return to the table.
We'll see what adjustments Mario can make here, whether or not he is going to try to slip, or if he's going to stick with his ace here, which is the top roll, when it looks like Guntars is doing exactly the same move. I think if we get a start outside of straps, we'll have two top rollers that will inevitably end up in a slip position.
Indeed. Both men really struggling to get set up quickly, as though they're both seeking that micro advantage. Mario now obviously giving all of those things all the more thought.
About to get the start. They look pretty even here.
They look good and ready to go. Tim Graham. Here we go. Gets the thumbs up and go. And
A repeat of the first round, wasn't it?
Indeed. You know, I think we'll keep seeing that unless they're going to start in straps. But it does just appear from that replay that Mario may have enough there to take Gunters' hand. So very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's top roll versus top roll right here. They seem to be basically identical. It's almost a mirror match.
It's a mirror match where the only difference is maybe 20 kilos.
So it is first to three. This is for the heavyweight title for AWE. Gunters is up 1-0 currently. This is the second match, and we're going to straps.
And very exciting matchup coming up next, which is our main event.
Who is our main event, Dave?
Ryan Bowen and Mataringi Hetamoris.
It's one of those days we've been practicing it all week.
Every time I go to say it,
It comes out differently every time.
I fear I'm saying it wrong, and I don't want to upset the big man.
Yeah, of all people to upset, it's probably the worst one.
Most of the athletes flew in to Adelaide last night and had an opportunity to acclimatise. Unfortunately, the Adelaide weather has not been helpful. It was near 40 degrees Celsius in Adelaide yesterday, and today is almost half that.
About to get the start here. Everything looks pretty fair. We get in the middle. Looks like we're going top roll versus top roll, but Mario looks like he's got the higher hand positioning.
Yes, it seems that Mario's seen a pathway. Here we go. They're both loading. You see that loading pressure at the end of their fingers as they're both starting to burn red brightly.
Mario's got an advantage here in this strap position.
It seems that...
Well, it's not strong enough.
He's got the hand, and
he's changed to the press.
Here we go. There we go.
Wow.
Just enough.
Too strong.
Yeah. Well done.
Look at that. Mario, Gunters losing his hand, says, I don't care, I'll just press through with a flop wrist.
Very interesting, and it might be an interesting observation of Gunters if he is to compete at the highest level again, that maybe there is still some work to do, as strong as he may be, that his hand is vulnerable to Mario's in this situation.
Yeah, that's interesting. And maybe Mario can take something out of that and go, well, I did manage to break his wrist back.
He's seeking the counsel of Jamie Barrett, just outside of the cage. Jamie's got some thoughts as to where there might be a way for Mario to work himself back into this matchup.
It does look like he's done the same thing every round so far, even in the slip setups. He's trying to get that top roll. He did manage to sort of win the centre off the go there, broke Gunters' wrist back very slightly, and Gunters changing to the flop wrist press and just pressing straight through.
Just really using the strap there to his advantage.
That's right. It might be a lane that he could find, and especially as this match goes on, there it is 2-0 now for Gunters. He only needs to win one more to get the victory, but this might be enough fatigue for Mario to roll his way through.
Well, you certainly imagine that's what Mario's hoping for at this stage, that perhaps that ring rust is starting to catch up on Gunters, that the lactic acid is building up, and that Mario's time on the table over the last several years is going to start to pay dividends as this matchup wears on.
That's right. You got the... hang on. This is first at 3. Referee Tim Graham just confirming this is a first to 3 match, which it is. I did offer Gunters a first to 5, and he said that he is an older man. 50 years old at the moment.
Looking great at 50.
Seems to be with arm wrestling, guys get stronger as they get older. One of those sports, especially for a strength sport, a combat sport, it's almost the reverse of every other sport.
And you've got Mario Tambakis there, who is a baby in terms of his age in the sport, and yet has achieved so much already. And a big, big future, regardless of what happens in this matchup for Mario Tambakis.
Interesting to see if he does adjust anything here, or if he maybe feels that the amount of fatigue that might be getting into Guntars' hand is enough for him to get through.
Will he escape to the strap, or will he seek to fatigue Guntars just a little more to maybe attempt to take his hand? No, it's a repeat.
That's right, but it did put another little bit of wear and tear onto Guntars' hand. You can see that Mario does seem to win the centre, but can't sort of follow all the way through. Obviously, it is difficult when you get two top rollers in that are doing the same thing. Your hands inevitably come apart, and I keep stuffing up that word, and it just reminds me of the South Park episode where the guy's trying to say inevitable. In my mind, I think, don't say that, and then I've already said it.
So Ryan Bowen will be back to the table after competing in the Intercontinental Belt matchup.
That's right.
And
double duties tonight.
Double duties. He's stepped in the breach as Lachlan Carpenter's left-handed opponent. Brett Coots wasn't able to make it, and Ryan stuck up his hand and feels he's going to have enough left after his matchup to come back and give Lachlan a run for his money. Lachlan's the current open weight champion of Australia.
That's him in the background there looking. He's helping Mario in the corner.
Indeed, all 120 kilos of him.
Got some big guys, haven't we?
Really had to get this cage reinforced for this particular event.
So interesting to see if Mario's going to go and commit again for the top roll.
Guntars doesn't seem entirely happy with this setup, but feels he's probably got enough at this stage. So it seems he's going to
he's up 2-0.
Work with what he's got. And
he's first to three, just needs this last pin, and he will be...
we're readjusting the strap.
Okay. He will be the AWE heavyweight champion if he wins this round. Our very first heavyweight champion.
It's fantastic to crown a worthy champion. I mean, both of these athletes are tremendous reputations and have contributed so much to the sport. Guntars, of course, on the international stage for many years before coming to Australia and showing us all how to do it. And Mario really did fill in that void at a heavyweight level when Guntars retired, and Mario has very much been that man that everybody's had their sights set on beating and have inevitably failed. So this is really a changing of the guard again. So real momentous occasion in the history of arm wrestling, and the AWE are proud to bring it to you.
Did you hear that Monster Michael Todd will be on AWE 2?
I did hear some rumours, Hollywood Matt Connolly, that might be announced at this particular event, and I mean that's really exciting. I think what's going to be even more exciting is perhaps the announcement as to who his opponent might be. So I'm betting that there's some conjecture already going on right now. As a matter of fact, I was told with a high degree of confidence that an opponent had already been determined and shown a message accordingly, but
we will find that out by the end of this stream.
And we can definitely say that any of the conjecture on the internet right now is incorrect, and there's been no announcement made. And but
here we go.
Monster Michael Todd will be competing at the AWE 2 event.
All right, now we'll mark it. Mario go with the top roll again, or if he's going to make the adjustment. It almost looks like he's setting up for a press in a way.
Almost does. Let's look at the feet position here, which is just a little bit out of shot. Doesn't tell us everything. Guntars is very, very wide. Feet on either side of the legs, on the outside of the legs. Mario is going for the press.
He's gone into the hook. They've turned it fully into
press
the hook.
versus press. Now it's hook.
Guntars getting on top in a press position. Can't get through. Oh, wow. He did it.
What a spectacular matchup.
All right. We will jump into the cage to present Guntars Baikovs with the heavyweight title. We've got Dave Stockbridge running over there now, and I will join him to present the belt. I'll wait until Dave starts his announcement so you don't get dead air. But what a win for Guntars Baikovs, 3-0 over Mario Tambakis. Incredible. And we're just getting ready for Dave to make his announcement here. And I'll head over to the cage now.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time. What a spectacular matchup between two genuine titans of the arm wrestling world. Great sportsmanship there. I'm going to hand this over to Hollywood Matt Connolly as we announce your winner here today. So, ladies and gentlemen, your winner is former Latvian, former European, former Australian, and now current reigning and defending AWE champion of the world, Guntars Baikovs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, your champion here, Guntars Baikovs. Guntars, it's been a career of achievement, and as we had mentioned at the weigh-ins last night, there was a 5-year competitive layoff. You're now 50 years old, returning to the competitive table after some time, and how did it feel?
Crazy, crazy.
And what was it about this particular matchup that attracted you back to the table? I have that feeling that you've had your eyes on Mario for some time.
Yes, I think we had a few matches pre-arranged before, but they sort of never came to be and never happened. And I think we felt that it has to be done once and for all.
It really did feel like destiny. So, and it was wonderful to see you both across the table. Two genuine champions and an absolutely wonderful performance. There was a bit of to and fro there as well, and it looked at some point that Mario might have even had your hand. And how did you feel at that point?
So his hand is quite inconvenient for me with all the formation. Yes.
Very inconvenient for everybody.
Yes. It was difficult to get a good grip, but eventually it happened.
Had enough in the end. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion here today, Guntars Baikovs. Well done.